What's up, guys? We're taking a look at some more NBA player props today over on prizepicks, coming off of a massive 6-in-1 day. This video applies to prizepicks, but also sports books and other player prop sites out there. So this video is for everyone, but if you want to join prizepicks, the link to join is down in my description below. Using code DOMG gets you a 100% deposit match up to $100. It's available in most states, and you have to be 18 years or older, but we're going to dive into this 5-game slate today. So not too many games, only have 5 games today. But again, we are coming off of that monster day yesterday over on the Patreon, 6-1. Unfortunately, the video went 1-1, so of course the one loss I had out of 7 yesterday happened to be one that I posted in the video, but still on a very, very good video run. I also went 3-0 on another DFS site last night too, so actually it was really an 8-1 day yesterday. But if you want to join the Patreon, see everything that I'm playing tonight, the link is down in my description below. Have over 500 members in my Patreon, and you could potentially get in on days like that 6-1 day that we had yesterday. Here's a full breakdown of that Patreon and everything that you would be getting. If you are interested in seeing every single one of my plays, check out the Patreon. The link is down in the description below. There are 3 different tiers. There's NFL, NBA, and all sports. With access to the Patreon, you guys get every single play that I play, on top of these plays being ranked by confidence level and write-ups to go with every single prop that I post. Once again, the link is down in the description below, so check it out. There's actually 4 tiers now in the Patreon, and then NFL section is going to become NHL after the All-Star break, and I still will be posting my Super Bowl picks. But let's go ahead and dive into the slate here. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel, have those post notifications on, and leave a like. I seriously would appreciate it, but make sure you have those post notifications on so you do not miss future videos from me, and hopefully we end up cashing out today and go 2-0. Here we go. Let's start off here. We're going to go over to the NBA first half category, but don't worry, if you are not on a place like prizepicks, if you're on a different place, I also have an alternative if you are on a sports book or another site for like their full game stuff, like their PRA, their points, and things like that. So make sure you tailor your risk, look at these a little bit more on your own. Always do your own research. But we're gonna go over to the NBA first half PRA. I also like his full game PRA over. So if you're like on a sports book or something, I also like his full game. But I like Nikola Vucevic over 16.5 first half PRA. The Patreon has already gotten his over 33.5 PRA, but actually got bumped on prizepicks. So I'm going over to his first half, but I do also like his over 34.5. But again, I got this at 33.5 earlier. And I think there's better value for the first half now with the PRA. So again, if you want to join prizepicks, you get on these NBA first half, which looks awesome to me. I love NBA first half, but I like Vucevic over his 16.5 first half PRA. Let's dive and take a look at why I like this prop real quick. So first off, let's take a look at the odds at his full game PRA. So he was at 33.5 earlier, like a -160 to go over it. It was something insane. So let's take a look at where Vucevic is. -165 to go over 33.5, -128 to go over 34.5. So he's still favored to go over 34.5 on the major books like FanDuel and DK. So now let's take a look into the matchup. So for the Bulls real quick, he's going to be at home going against the Clippers, 8 o'clock tonight. It's a 226.5 over under. The spread is 2.5. So nothing too crazy right there. And this is a first half prop, but some people will be taking this full game maybe. But let's take a look though at this matchup. So let's take a look at the points per game that the Clippers are allowing. They're on the easier side right there. They're in the green. That is the 7th most points per game allowed to the center this season. Take a look at the rebounds. The Clippers are not a terrible matchup, I don't believe. 14.36, nothing too crazy. Assists, Vucevic can dish it out, man. So they're on the 4th most assists per game to the center right there. In the last 7 games here, you can see where the Clippers are for their points and things like that. They've actually been quite a bit better in their last 7 games. Not too worried about the matchup, though. They've been allowing a lot to the center overall this season, and I think Vucevic can get the best of them. If you take a look at his first half game log here, you can see how many games he's been over this, how many games he's been under this. He's actually over in 7 of his last 10 games, so he's been on a pretty good run. Again, 7 out of his last 10 looks really, really good. He's been over his full game PRA, 10 of his last 13, and 7 of his last 10. So he's been really, really good with his full game PRA. That's at 33.5. I don't know if he's landed exactly on 34 in that 13 game stretch, but I love his first half PRA. I like his full game PRA. I think he's in a really, really good spot, I think, his PRA. So let's dive in, though, to player prop number 2 here. So let's go over again to the NBA first half. And again, I will have an alternative if you are on a sports book. I just really, really love this NBA first half category on prizepicks. A really great reason to join prizepicks if you have not already. At least look into it, man. But we're going to go over to NBA first half. And again, I will have an alternative. We're going to go all the way down here and find Nikola Jokic. This might be a sneaky good play, and let me explain why. You might agree, you may disagree, But if you are on a sports book or something like that where you only have full game props, I like Nikola Jokic's over full game points at 25.5. I like his full game points as well. I think it's a pretty good spot. If you take a look at his points, 25.5, minus 125, minus 115, minus 110 even on MGM. Always everywhere else is favored is over pretty much besides PointsBet. But Jokic has been over this in 5 straight games, averaging 33.4 in his last 5 games, and he's been over this in 8 straight. 8 straight games he has been over this. You can see how many times he's been over, dating back to his Cleveland game. He's even gone over in tough matchups like Cleveland. So he's been over this in 8 straight games. This is his first half fantasy score. He's also facing the Pelicans today. He just played the Pelicans 2 games ago and had 28.5. So he just barely went over by 1 last time he played them, but still I think he'll go over it yet again. The Pelicans are really not that tough of a matchup to the center and actually allowing a lot of fantasy points to the center. If you take a look at how the Pelicans have been for fantasy score against the center this season, they've allowed the 9th most fantasy points per game this season to the center. So pretty solid, 9th most. And if you take a look at the last 7 games though, they're allowing the 4th most fantasy points per game to the center. So it seems to be a really, really good matchup for him. He's been over this in 8 straight games and has been really pretty consistent like all season. If you date back, like the Boston game right there, Sacramento, he's been over this in a pretty good amount of games if you take a look at it. So I really do like his first half fantasy score game log. He's been over this twice already against Pelicans. He's been over in 3 straight in his career. So 17, 18, 19 minutes, 2, 13, 5, 5, and 1 with a steal. So he's got a good chance for steals. He's got a good chance for blocks. So that's really, really good for the fantasy score. I also think he scores like 13 points in the first half. I like his first half points as well at 12.5. Like I said, I also like his full game points at 25.5. So I think he's in a really, really good spot here. Jokic is with his fantasy score. For a guy who's been over in 8 straight, has a really good matchup, over in both matchups against this same team earlier this season. I think he's just in a great spot here. So it's also a 234 over-under, so the over-under looks pretty solid. 7-point spread, which I'm not worried about with it being first half. Potentially no Jamal Murray could be pretty good for this as well. And the Pelicans are still without Zion Williamson. So there's a lot of things that I really do like about this prop right here in Nikola Jokic over 27.5 first half fantasy score. So I like Vucevic's 16.5 first half PRA and Jokic over 27.5 first half fantasy scores. So those are my 2 plays for you in today's video. Patreon link is down in my description below. 6-1 yesterday, 8-1 if you factor in the other DFS sites. NHL is going to be consistently on the Patreon after the All-Star break, so I'm really excited about that. I absolutely love the NHL. There's a lot of huge things going on. All links are down in my description below. The Patreon link and also the prizepicks link are down there. And just make sure you subscribe and have those post notifications on so you do not miss future videos. Thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you tune in next time and hopefully we end up cashing out tonight. Best of luck tonight, tail turn risk, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, boys. Tiny end of video rant here about Chris Paul here. Sold my 6 pick. He also sold a 4 pick power play for me. So literally would have won a 6 pick and a 4 pick yesterday if Chris Paul just would have had 1 or 2 more assists. Just needed, 1 or 2 in the 4th quarter. So shout out to Chris Paul. Really not his fault though. It was more Torrey Craig for missing a wide open layup that would have been Chris Paul's last assist. So yeah, yesterday definitely kind of hurt. And of course I happened to throw that one in yesterday's video. So yeah, definitely yesterday hurt just a little bit. Thank you guys for watching as always. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully we hit a 6 pick flex again in the future.